Okay, so it seems that these theme class videos are getting to be a bit of a thing. So I guess I should do an intro roll for them. So andiamo, that means let's go in Italian. Hi everyone, Mel here. So today I want to take you through how I would do a St. Patrick's Day theme or an Irish theme in a group fitness class. So at the time of making this video, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. It's 17th of March for those of you who aren't sure. So as someone with about 3/4 of Irish heritage in me, I take St. Patrick's Day really seriously with my classes. So a little side note, even though I love to travel, I will avoid being away on St. Patrick's Day just so that I can spread a little bit of Irish fun with my classes. Yep, that's the dedication that I have to this particular day. So obviously a place to start is with the colour green. Or if you don't really like green, you could go blue, because originally the colour for St. Patrick's Day was blue. In fact, the official colour for Ireland is still blue. So if you visit Dublin Castle, the exterior of which is pictured here, and you go to St. Patrick's Hall, which is where they welcome foreign dignitaries, you won't find too much green in the decor. The predominant colour is blue. However, on the flag, the three colours are green, white and orange. So the green represents the Irish Catholics and also the Republican cause of independence from Britain that they fought super hard to get. The orange represents the Protestants, more specifically the House of Orange from what is now present day the Netherlands, which took over the British monarchy in the 17th century after the English Civil War. And the white stands for peace between the two groups. So, like I said, St. Patrick's Day is something which I really like to make a bit of a theme with each year. So in previous years, I mainly used props that I had bought in Sydney and also from my time in Ireland, very brief time in Ireland in 2015. If I wasn't teaching on a pool deck, I would bring out this, my Irish genealogy, and put it somewhere. If I'm teaching on a pool deck, I can't take that out to there because there's generally a rule saying no glass on a pool deck. However, last November, I went to Ireland again for about a week. So I kind of gave the props an upgrade. So I bought a few t-shirts, including the one that I'm wearing now. I also bought a few bags. So here's one of the bags. Here's Paddy Bear. So you've heard of Paddington Bear in England. Well, Paddy Bear is the thing in Ireland. I also have another little bag just here. So I am trying to get a bit of a collection of t-shirts and also bags from places all over the world. So the t-shirts I tend to wear mainly in Pilates, on a pool deck or in cycle, they're just too warm. But the bags, if I want to take, say, bits and pieces down to where I'm teaching, say onto a pool deck or to a studio, and leave my main bag in a totally different room, then the bags can be good, and they also generate some chit chats with people, and that's throughout the year that I tend to do that sort of thing. But on St. Patrick's Day, obviously everything goes Irish then. So on St. Patrick's Day, I like to use my Irish sweat towel. Actually, it's not really a sweat towel, it's actually a table runner, but it's about the size of a sweat towel, and it does for one day of teaching. Last time I was in Ireland, I acquired this tea towel. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that on St. Patrick's Day in my classes, because I have no intention of doing dishes in my classes on St. Patrick's Day. Another thing which I've got is this repurposed calendar. So these are calendar photos or calendar pictures which have been laminated and stuck together. And it's great because I can hang it from somewhere. So usually most rooms have somewhere that you can hang something from. And on a pool deck, I can usually contrive something to hang it on, and just gives people something to look at extra in their class. I also have this hat here. Now, realistically, I might wear it for maybe a 1 or 2 tracks if I'm doing well. Realistically, I can't really see very well in it, so It more is just as a decoration. And then I have just this little bear, which I sometimes sit somewhere in the vicinity of the class. So those are the props that I've used over the years, and some of the new ones which I'll be adding in this year. So here's a few photos of some of the setups which I've established over the years, just so you can have a look at them. Then, of course, I would use a bit of the Irish language. What's there to learn? Isn't it just like regular English, just with an Irish accent, or dialect as you like to call it? Why, thanks for the question. Yes, the Irish dialect of English is pretty much intelligible to a native English speaker, but Irish Gaelic is about as close to English as what ancient Sanskrit or Farsi, the language of Iran. So all of them are Indo-European languages, so there's a theory that they have a common ancestor. But as far as being mutually intelligible goes, well, not even close. So here are a few basic Irish words and also how to pronounce them, which is something which you won't get on Google Translate, by the way. The pronunciation guide is not there yet. So the way that the word for hello is pronounced is diagwich. The way that the word for goodbye is pronounced is slán. For the word please, there's actually two words for please. There's le-de-hel and le-weh-del. And that just depends on whether you're talking to someone singularly or as a plural group of people. The word for thank you is go raibh mhaith agat. Now that's the singular form. The plural form, not even I was going to have a shot at saying that. Of course, there is the Irish dialect of English and also some Irish slang. So I'm going to take you through a bit of that over the next few minutes. So when talking about potato chips, they're called crisps in Ireland. Incidentally, this is one of the brands of potato chips and oh gosh, is it good. It's a bit of an icon in Ireland. If you ever go there, make sure you get some potato chips. So if you want a cup of tea, you might say it as cha, cuppa, cuppa cha, or even a cup of rosy lee, which is rhyming slang. We've borrowed from the Cockney accent or Cockney slang for a cup of tea. Now, if anyone is getting stressed in your class, you might want to say calm your jets, which means don't stress, take it easy. And if you have someone ask you for the milk and honey, well, that is rhyming slang for money. So how would I incorporate St. Patrick's Day into my classes? Well, that day, March 17, I have 5 classes which are scheduled. 1 cycle, 3 Pilates, and 1 aqua. So with my cycle class, it's going to be at 5:30 in the morning. Not the best time to milk a theme. So I often say that we're going for a ride to get a coffee. On St. Patrick's Day, I might just say that we're going for a ride to get an Irish coffee. What? At 5:30 in the morning? Are you kidding? Yes, but it is Irish coffee o'clock somewhere in the world. Gotta love time zones for milking my own purposes. For the Pilates classes, if you saw my Shrove Tuesday video from a couple of weeks ago, I would probably do something very similar to that with the postural and stability exercises. Just instead of mentioning pancakes and all their variations, I would be mentioning things to do with Ireland, such as potato things, maybe some Irish stew, maybe some mention of Guinness. If you're wondering why I'm not going to mention corned beef, by the way, I might, but I may not. That's actually because it didn't really originate from Ireland itself. It originated in New York from the Irish immigrants who went there. So there's a little bit of a backstory there. I might do a video on that one day. So you could mention corned beef, but just keep in mind it's not genuinely an Irish food. Then for aqua, I've been known to incorporate a couple of Irish dance jigs into my classes throughout the year, not just on St. Patrick's Day. Really depends on the patrons which I've got and whether I think they'll be able to cope with them. They can use their arms or not use their arms. I generally teach them without the use of the arms because Irish dancing generally has the arms in by the hips, but once you're in the water, I'm not going to quibble on that. So I'm going to show you a couple of little jigs here. So for aqua, one of the moves which I will often show people is a move which involves a high knee and then a little kick behind the body as well. Now you start doing that fairly fast and you've got a decent aqua move. You can also travel it, you can rotate it. There's quite a lot of things which you can do there. Obviously change the leg which is in front, and you've got a fairly simple Irish dance move which you can incorporate into an aqua class. The other one which I often like to do is what's known as a birdie. Now this one is a very high impact move, so obviously be careful of participants' hips, knees, backs. If you've got people with those sorts of issues in your class, maybe not the group to teach them to. However, the way that the birdie works is you bring one leg forwards into a kick. You then, at the same time, simultaneously, you've got your back leg coming back into a bent position. So it looks a bit like this. Now, that works in aqua with or without dumbbells. I find it works best with dumbbells. It gives you a bit more time to actually, but it is up to you. If you don't have dumbbells, a move without dumbbells. It is a lot more challenging that way. So those are just a few ideas for how I would do an Irish theme. I hope that has helped. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.